All right, the word's out. The retainer model sucks if you want to build a marketing agency, and going into 2026, I'm going to show you exactly why pay-per-lead is so much better, how to transition over to this, how to charge for each of your leads or appointments or whatever you're generating, and all the different ways that you can get paid in pay-per-lead and why it's so much better than retainer. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hunter Ceroy. We currently run a pay-per-lead business in the insurance niche, and we're doing about 8 million run rate right now. Just kind of depends on the month, but I'm going to walk you through exactly through these different payment models and why we're going to be able to hit $1 million a month in 2026. And I'm going to document the whole entire damn thing. So strap in, let's get ready, and let's make you some more money and build a smarter marketing agency in 2026, doing it the pay-per-lead way. All right, number one, I'm going to walk you through a quick example of the retainer model. And this comes from one of our students in our free Discord, which, by the way, if you want to join, links in the description, or I'll pin it in a comment or something like that. So here's why the retainer model sucks. Now, normally you're working with very small businesses, because medium to big size businesses, they're very hard to get on retainer. So this means you're also stiff-armed into only doing a 20-mile radius or something like that. Normally, these clients will normally pay $1,500 to maybe $2K a month, so nothing crazy, and you have to build your whole entire business off this small little amount of money. And the other problem is you're solely going off of MRR, so you have to appease these clients, which I'm going to get into this specific story from one of the students in the free Discord. So he said, "Hey Hunter, my client is currently getting a 3 to 5x ROAS and they want better results. So all he has to do is convince this client, if he wants to make money, to increase their ad spend to keep the client happy, because his whole business is run off of MRR. And now he can either just eat that and not get paid to do extra work for the client, or he has to get back on a sales call and convince them, hey, I'm going to increase your ad spend, but I also want another, $500 to maybe $1,000 to manage all of this." Your client's going to say, well, all you marketers are the same. You're just increasing my ad budget. You're just hitting a button. Why do you need to increase my costs? And why do I need to increase my ad spend? Why can't you just increase my ROAS? Dude, these small businesses suck because they will never understand marketing. So now you're trying to take your 5 to 10 years, depending on where you're at, experience, and convince this small dumb client who is day one on marketing that they need to increase their ad budget. And even like $500 sometimes for these companies is really hard, and often you're not going to get paid extra to do it because you have to appease the client. They don't understand that a 3 to 5x ROAS is good. You're not going to get paid to do it. I think the retainer model sucks. It's so hard to scale on, and if your churn isn't below 5%, it's going to be very hard to grow these businesses. You still can be successful. I know 2 big retainer SMMAs and marketing agencies that are doing very well, but dude, they're just on another level. So unless you guys have like 5 to 10 years experience and the best A players in the entire fucking game, it's really unlikely that you're going to be able to scale a retainer model. So let's walk into why the pay-per-lead model is so much better and how to price your services. So in 2026, we're shooting for $1 million a month, and this is basically how we're going to do it. These are the big 4 ways that we're going to get paid that you cannot do in retainer. And this goes through multiple phases. So you guys are probably going to be on phase 1. You're not going to be able to copy 2, 3, and 4 yet, the other phases. But if you want to join the free Discord and get help with phase 1 so that you can jump to these other phases, then do that and we'll 100% help you out there. So number 1 is the small buyers. These are the people that hopefully you're working with that are going to be statewide or nationwide. This is the best small buyers to work with for the pay-per-lead industry. So if you're only doing a 20-mile radius or something like that, you have to find ways to get around that. So we have students in the free Discord that are doing like hair transplant clinic or just clinics in general. Yeah, I understand why that would be a little bit harder for pay-per-lead. I'm going to make videos on how you can still do it later, but this would be more for like life insurance, mortgage loan officers, mortgage brokers, retirement people, wealth preservation, home services, roofing, remodeling, things like that, so that you can go statewide or nationwide. But here's how to price your leads effectively. If you're doing pay-per-lead, you're going to take your cost per lead and multiply it by 1.5x all the way up to 4x, depending on a couple different things. So let's say you were just doing a pay-per-lead and nothing else, you're literally just sending them leads. Do not mark up the price a lot. Just do a 1.5x, something like that, or very close to that. If you're doing pay-per-lead with a bunch of DQs and OTP in there, hell yeah, you can definitely charge a 2x to maybe 2.5x, sometimes even 3x, but let's just keep it simple. So this would mean your DQ DQing people off the form that don't fit a certain criteria. Maybe you're working with homeowners, you have to DQ people that are renting. Maybe they even want you to DQ people that are making less than 100K a year, something like that. And you're adding OTP verification, which you can do on landing pages, lead forms, you can do it anywhere, but you're basically verifying that phone number. It sends them a code, they send it back, so all the numbers are verified. Yeah, now you can definitely charge more. Now let's say you get into like pay per appointment, maybe you're in the home services. Yeah, at least do a 2.5x all the way up to maybe a 3.5x, just depending on, you know, what exactly they want. And then pay per appointment, there's also DQs. Jesus, I cannot draw. So pay per lead, there's DQs, it's OTP, maybe there's workflows so that they don't even have to lift a finger. There's GHL, there's stuff like that. Yeah, charge a 3 to 4x. This is just a very simple way of doing it. If you guys want to kind of run this by us and exactly what you want to price your pay per lead or pay per appointment or pay per whatever, you can just join the free Discord and we'll give you some insight, because every niche is a little bit different. But this is basically where you start. So currently, our pay per lead business on the small buyer side is doing about 300K all the way up to crazy months, 600K a month. And we're doing about 6,000 leads sold all the way up to crazy months, which is about 12,000 leads sold. So we have our small buyers, and this is what we built our entire infrastructure off of. But because we're generating leads for these guys, this is where it starts to get crazy. Okay, so after you master phase one, I'm just gonna tie a bow around this, you can easily get small buyers, which I mean, maybe they're just buying 100 to 500 leads at a time. They're nothing crazy. Maybe they're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, all the way up to maybe $15,000 a month. But this is so much better than retainer, because remember that guy in the free Discord that said, hey, how do I, convince my client to up their ad spend? And I'm just thinking, from my perspective, I don't really care, because you're not going to get paid more to do it. So I don't care to, put you on blast like that and make you go work for free. Whereas here, if you had a client that wants to do better, just show them their ROI and say, dude, just buy more leads. That's it. So here we have our small buyers. And because word got out, we're one of the biggest in the industry for our tiny niche that we're in. We have now started offering white label. And this is where it gets very, very juicy and very, very cool. So phase two, after you get past the small buyers, I'd recommend offering white label services of your core service, which is just whatever this is. So if it's home service leads, pay per appointment, insurance, retirement specialists and experts, yeah, now you can white label that stuff. So let's say, these companies that are big on sales organizations, so maybe it's insurance, maybe anything that's almost like an MLM. Insurance, MLMs, big sales orgs like solar, even some home services companies are very big and they have sales teams that operate like this. You can get white label clients for this. So ours is going to be in insurance. And before I walk into how cool this is, if you guys want the easiest way to make 10K a month in 2026, just join our free Discord. You can go find clients in the insurance space or tax space or home services space and just white label them to us. And I'm going to walk through exactly how we do that so that you can make money alongside of us if you want. And this is why in 2026, we've become kind of like this aircraft carrier of money that just draws people to us. There's ships around us, jets landing on us. Everybody's trying to make money off of our core thing, which is really cool because we started with the small buyers. So phase one is really important. But let's say we get this white label in insurance, and we currently have 3 big white labels that are going to get us about 10,000 to 15,000 leads sold per month. Here's the really cool part. It costs us about $2,000 each to acquire these 3 big white labels, but afterwards, there's literally zero CAC. So they're bringing us hundreds of customers, because in insurance, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You have a downline. So maybe there's, you own an insurance brokerage or IMO, and underneath of that, you have hundreds of agents in there. Well, they're all going to pay for their own leads. So we just plug people in and they just bring them to us and make a ton of money with us. I'm going to get some more space here. So we have our 3 big buyers, the 3 big white label guys doing about 10,000 to 15,000 leads every month. And we're going to charge these guys about maybe $30 to $35 to white label. Then they're going to go resell it to their guys for maybe about $36 to maybe $42 cost per lead. And we're doing a lot of the stuff that I said in phase one, like we're DQing a lot. We do one-time passcode. We verify all these leads. So they're very good leads. And in the industry, we're obviously charging way below market value, but also our white labels are charging a tiny bit below market value. So it makes it a no-brainer to everyone. So for us, maybe our cost per lead to generate them is $50 $15 to $20, and they resell it. We don't really care about that. So our spread is going to be $15 to maybe $25 spread, because our CPL is 15 to 20. So if we just do the math on this, our gross profit is going to be about 150K, maybe all the way up to 225K. And this is our gross profit just off of 3 white label clients. We don't deal with any of their team or their clients. We're literally just reselling them leads. They take care of the rest of the work. And these guys can even generate, maybe $40,000 to $120,000 a month in gross profit for literally doing nothing, for just partnering with us. And they might, have to hop on calls with their people and make sure they're routing right. I don't know if they're using Go High Level for their clients. So they have a little bit of work involved, but this is so much better for everybody to just do a white label. And it costs us way less money to acquire clients, literally none after we get the white label. We have a huge gross profit here that we can play with, and white label is just super cool. You can't really do this in the retainer model, or at least I can't think of a way currently to do it. And this has been our phase 2 to continue to grow our monthly revenue, and it's how we're gonna help hit $1 million a month in 2026. Now, the third phase is big buyers. So this is where in the insurance niche, we're going after big IMOs, insurance carriers themselves, and then just big teams. So this isn't what you're thinking. This isn't going to be me running a B2B ad saying, "Excuse me, Mr. Insurance owner, do you have $100,000 to spend?" Normally what we'll do is we'll scrape on Apollo for big clients. And I mean big clients. These are, I've gone over in a couple other videos, these are like billion with a B companies, or 100 million. So we have 2 and then a third starting in Q1, whatever, sake of math. Let's just say we have 3 big buyers, and all of these guys are buying 5,000 all the way up to 10,000 a month. So this is 15,000 leads all the way up to 30,000 leads just from these big buyers. And it's kind of just like the white label. It's not like our core service small buyers where we have to talk to all these clients and get on calls and convince them to buy more leads and worry about MRR and all this crazy stuff. We just get on Apollo, scrape for the biggest companies doing at least 25 million in sales, and then we go to these guys and say, "Hey, we're already generating tons and tons of leads. Can we just route some of these to you?" Maybe we do 100 for free for a test. There's a bunch of ways to get creative to get these big buyers, but the main thing is just getting on Apollo and then getting in touch with their heads of marketing, getting on sales calls, closing these deals. These are absolutely massive deals. The fourth phase is going to be affiliates. And guys, stick around for this entire video because I'm going to make this tie together and show you how insane this is if you do all of this. So getting affiliates now, because look at this. We have so many leads that we're generating and selling one time. So the small buyers, we generate the lead, we push it to them. The white label, it's getting better. There's $0 CAC after we get the white label. We're generating them and we're pushing them. Big buyers, it's just doing the small buyers, but at large scale. We're generating them, we're pushing them to our clients. Here's where shit gets absolutely crazy, because now we're generating anywhere from like 10 to 50,000 leads every single month. I go on impact.com and I look for adjacent verticals. So let's say we're talking about the insurance niche. I'm gonna go find things like refi. Let me just get a little more space here. Refi, mortgages, debt and tax relief if people are behind on debt or taxes. So now that I have my 10 to upwards of like 50, 60,000 leads that are being bought every single month, I can put a simple conditional logic on my pages to basically say, a lot of people that want this life insurance that we sell, they're very interested in tax-free retirement. So I can ask questions like, "Hey, do you want to overfund this policy to get more for tax-free retirement? Then I would recommend refinancing your home because your interest rate sucks and it would allow you to have more access to capital. Hey, are you currently a homeowner talking about this life insurance policy? Maybe they're getting like a mortgage protection policy. Well, now maybe we can sell them a better mortgage, a better refinance, something like that. Or, hey, do you want to overfund this policy? Are you making $100,000 a year? Okay, are you paycheck to paycheck? Do you have any debt, liens, or, are you behind on taxes?" If they say yes to any of these, I can add an option on the thank you page by going to impact.com and seeing what a bunch of, by the way, impact.com, I've gone over it in another video. It's basically like it connects influencers to very big brands. And for us, maybe I'm not an influencer yet. We're growing the YouTube, baby. We're figuring it out. But I'm just going to find all these companies, get in touch with them, add them to our thank you pages based on conditional logic. So let's just say I pull 10,000 people through a form. At the end of it, maybe like half of them, so 5,000 would be good fits for this based on the conditional logic. So I just add these to the thank you page and say, hey, we've scraped hundreds of companies. This is your best option for this. And then maybe I get another 10, 20, or 30% to go through. So that's anywhere from maybe 500 all the way up to 3,000 of those 5,000 leads if we got absolutely crazy results that are just getting us paid another time for no reason. And because they're in adjacent verticals, they're not hurting conversions on the main buyer. I'll say that again. They're not hurting conversions on the main buyer because they're adjacent verticals. So if they get a call about insurance, but I routed them to another insurance agency at the thank you page, maybe that would hurt because they're both fighting over it, but I route them to that insurance agent who bought it originally, and now a refinance agent from like Rocket Money is gonna reach out and be like, yeah, heard you opted in for the life insurance, great, good for you. Well, I wanted to reach out because I think you hit on the thank you page that, you know, you may have wanted to refinance. So let's just see what that would look like together. And now we're getting paid twice off of one person. And if you do this over and over and over and reactivate people in emails and sell them again, it gets absolutely crazy without hurting the conversions. So impact.com, you can find a bunch of these companies, or I also like to go to bestmoney.com. These guys are one of the largest affiliate marketers in the game. So I will always look at their number 1 to 3 ranked on their pages. And if you guys just go to Best Money, you'll see they just, let's take refinance, for example. Rocket Money is number 1 for Best Money. I can assume, because I'm wicked smart, very smart, a lot of people are talking about this, that Rocket Money probably pays Best Money the most. So that's who I go after. I go scrape on Apollo. I find the heads of affiliate marketing for all these different companies. I get on calls with them. I say, hey, dude, I'm already generating 10 to 30,000 leads. That could be a good fit. I just want to add you to the thank you page and route you some of these leads. And then, you know, this is a video for another time if we want to get super, super in depth on this. I'm just showing you guys how absolutely retarded the payment is if you guys can structure through all these phases and get through them all. So let's just tie a bow around all this. I'll make a fresh sheet. So phase 1 is basically just getting campaigns up and getting customers and getting them to buy a shit ton of leads. Scale this up to at least 10,000 leads. Phase 2, get big buyers, start offering white label services. Holy shit, I can't type. White labels, and yeah, you guys get the point. Phase 1, get campaigns up, get that to at least 10,000 leads sold. Phase 2, big buyers, white label services. Phase 3, now that you're generating, you know, anywhere from 20,000 leads a month all the way up to 50,000 leads, reroute some of these bitches to adjacent affiliate partners. And this is where in the small buyers, you know, maybe your profit margins aren't great. You're probably starting with 50% gross profit, and then you have team pay and all the software and shit, and then maybe it goes all the way down to 20 to 30% profit. And that's okay. Same for the big buyers. Maybe it's a little bit higher because there's less work involved. But now you get to the affiliates, you're generating the leads. Well, these fucking sales, dude, they're 75% to 90% profit. This is why the affiliate marketers make fuck you money, and you're sitting there selling a goddamn retainer to somebody's mom at a hair salon. So let me just calm down. Let me tie a bow around all this. Guys, the pay-per-lead model industry is fucking insane if you just understand these phases and how to get through them. So I'm gonna end the video here. I feel like we've already drawn on and gone through a lot. If you guys wanna join the free Discord, hop in, and we are running through 2026, 4 to maybe 5, but probably 4 cohorts. This is a very tight-knit group where we're gonna help you get through all the phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. You can join the free Discord, hop on Q&A calls and get help. But if you really wanna take your business to the next fucking level, dude, join this cohort. You can get more information on it in the free Discord and get through the 3 phases and watch us. I'm gonna document the process through 2026, how we make $1 million a month. If you guys wanna white label our services, you're welcome to join the free Discord. You can make free money by just going and connecting us with buyers. And there's just so many ways to make money in the pay-per-lead industry. Anyways, I hope you like my Christmas sweater. We got a little shark with a scarf. If you want to find out more about the pay-per-lead model, hit this video right here. And I'm gonna get the fuck out of here before I have a fucking aneurysm on the retainer model. All right, see ya.